Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now, I'll zoom in with the macro lens in a second, but one of the most common questions that I get on this channel surrounds what's inside the burrs, or what's the difference between the burrs, and all those sorts of questions. So, as you can see, I've done a few little sneaky cross sections and cut open some of these burrs so we can have a closer look just to really get into the nitty gritty of it all. A lot of the time it's just a question around why there are so many choices and when is which burr the correct choice to go with, because there are infinite options, and to be honest, you can get away with pretty much anything you want. In the end, what we're doing is scratching stones smaller and smaller until the scratches are so small that the stone becomes shiny. Now, a lot of the time, the question will always be about electroplated burrs versus sintered diamond. Super different price points, and it's actually for very good reason. But to be honest, both could be used for the same thing. Same thing goes for the diamond resins, sandpapers, Nova points. Insanely different price points, but to be honest, they're all used for that same kind of stage. And then this doesn't just go for burrs, this can go for cutting discs, so you can get electroplated ones. You can go for saw blades. I've got a couple here, you can see I've got a sintered diamond one there, an electroplated one there, and in the end, they're all the exact same reasons, whether it's a wheel, whether it's a disc, whether it's a burr. So let me just swap out the lens and we'll have a closer look at some of these. Okay, so here we are under the macro lens, having a real good look. I've pretty much cut this sintered diamond burr in half, same with this resin one. This sandpaper drum has been worn pretty much all the way down, the layers are getting pretty thin now. And then here on the electroplated, you can see I've just taken out an edge there. So the key factor on why there are so many choices is purely down to grits and hardness. So all of these options, you could get them all at the same grit. You could just get a 600 grit electroplated, 600 grit sintered diamond, 600 grit resin or Nova point, and a 600 grit sandpaper. One of the key differences, however, is the hardness of the matrix. So here we've got pure metal, here sintered metal, here resin, same with the Nova points, different resins but still resins, basically plastic with diamonds suspended. And then sandpaper, you've got paper backing. Now, why we transition from the hard burrs to the softer burrs is purely down to how aggressive that makes the diamonds work. So if you think about it, you could get two rakes from the hardware store, one made of plastic, one made of wicker, or even one made of metal. It might have the exact same number of prongs, they might be the same thickness, they might be the same coarseness, but because of the material they're made out of, if you scrape that up against your arm, or try to scoop up a bunch of leaves, they are going to behave very differently. These are so much more gentle than these two here. Not only that, even just between electroplated and sintered is actually much more gentle than the electroplated. And that is because the electroplated, if you have a look at it, look how rough it is on the surface. Now it will go from that rough exterior, because essentially you've almost just glued diamonds onto the outside of a metal shank. So you can see there, that's the metal burr head. This is just a bunch of the little diamonds glued onto it. But by glued, you've basically deposited more metal over the top to kind of seal them on the surface. Sintered diamond, they go all the way through. So that's looking at the heart of it now. We've taken off an entire wedge all the way into there. You can see it's a little bit porous. It's got little diamonds scattered in amongst it. Because of that depth, you end up getting the diamonds grinding down flush with the surface, and it becomes much more gentle. Now when it comes to sintered diamonds, electroplated burrs, that doesn't matter so much. Yes, the sintered diamonds will chip a lot less, which is very good when you're working on precious stones like opals, where carats can cost you a lot of money to lose, and a big chip can set you back a lot of money. So it is a lot better to go with the sintereds. They also last a lot longer because, as you can see here, where I've removed all that diamond on the outside, all you've got left is metal. That's not going to help you out. Whereas here, it would take you years to grind in that deep. And yet, look at that, you've still got plenty of little diamonds all the way through. You can also see that it's sintered onto this, basically a host metal plate here, which is on the end of the shaft. And that's just to give it something to adhere to. If you end up with a sintered diamond burr like this, sometimes it'll have a little core just going up through the middle. You've just got to give it something to seal onto. Otherwise you'll end up with a very brittle joint where a shank just meets sintered diamond and then the actual head of it can actually come off, which is not what you want. Now the next closest comparison is stepping up from these hard burrs to the soft ones, and that is comparing the sintered diamond to the resins. because as you can see, they are both very similar. You've got all these little diamonds going all the way through to the core. However, one, I can pick with the fingernail and not worry about my fingernail breaking, and I can wear the burr down a little bit, whereas here, I will end up just breaking my fingernails. The sintered diamond burr is kind of like having a metal hammer with a diamond attached to the face of it. You're going to hit, and the diamond's going to have its normal diamond action, but you're backing it with this solid metal. Whereas the resin, that's just like your rubber mallet. They just hit completely differently, even though they could just have the exact same size diamonds. Could be a 600, could be a 600, exact same diamonds, different host material. This one, you're okay starting to get a bit of a pre-polish. This one, you're still going to be scratching the hell out of the stone because you're going to be smashing those diamonds up against your stone with a metal backing rather than the soft resin. And this is actually a hard resin, so it works a lot faster. The Nova points are even softer. In fact, the Nova points are probably almost as soft as using a sandpaper drum. Because the sandpaper drum has all of these layers, it is actually really spongy. If we have a look at the end of it here, if you look at that, I can actually sponge it in. So that flexibility makes it really soft. And therefore, the diamonds, well, normally it's not diamonds, it's like a silicon carbide or something, but we'll just pretend it's diamonds. The diamonds acting on the surface are gonna hit, they're gonna scratch, but they're also gonna flex and give a lot. Whereas if you get right to the center of this and you have that metal rod in the middle, you'll see that it will act a lot harder. Or if you put a piece of sandpaper onto a metal rod and then grind that up against something, do the same thing with a wooden backing, and it'll have a completely different effect. Same sandpaper, different backing, different hardness. That's all it comes down to. It's as simple as that. Now the difference between the resin and the sandpaper is purely just the quality and the long-lasting nature of the resins in comparison to sandpaper. Every stone I do, I peel off another layer. In fact, once I'm down to about this stage, sometimes I have to go through 2 layers just to get the finish on the stone surface that I need. Whereas this one, I don't need to do any of that. I just keep on using it, keep on using it, keep on using it. Eventually, I'll get to the core, and the core is actually pretty funny on these things. It will look like that. Similar to the sintered diamonds, you need to give the resin something to grip onto. This is a dodgy one. In the factory, they accidentally got one of the shanks the wrong way around, so they've exposed the grippy part, and the smooth part is in here, so I can actually yoink that off if I pulled hard enough. So eventually, in the middle, I'll get to that. But until then, it is just this pure resin and twinkly little diamonds. That just makes this last so much longer than something like this. Exactly the same as something like the sintered diamond and the electroplated. You can get a poor quality electroplated that'll just strip all the diamonds straight off it. Sometimes they come a bit faulty as well and you can just peel them all off. Electroplating's not 100% all the time, there's always defects in the factory, but with the sintered diamond that never happens. They mix a metal powder and a diamond powder and then they put it under really high temperature and pressure and they create this porous metal diamond mix. This is just a piece of metal with diamonds glued onto the surface by depositing metal on top. So hopefully that really clears it up. I talk about it a lot and I've mentioned it, but we've never really had a look at any cross sections to have a look at what I'm actually talking about here. And in fact, even if I get like this little metal poker, you can see that I'm really scuffing that surface up. And that's how soft it is. Whereas if I did that against here, on the sintered diamond, I will end up just grinding the tip of this down. It has a completely different effect. And I hope that really clears it up. When you're going from metal to resin or metal to sandpaper, you're just talking hardness differences, therefore different effect on the stone, a lot softer, a lot lighter effect. When you're talking about hard versus hard, you're just looking at quality and lifespan. Life expectancy of one of these is probably 1,000 of these. To be honest, when I started out, I was just using electroplated burrs. Over the course of my cutting life, I've spent more money on electroplated burrs, even though I don't even use them anymore, than I have on the sintered, because I've still got my first set of sintered diamonds and they are still cruising along right now. Chilling right here on the desk. The case has actually got some boulder mud on it at the moment, and Cooper Beatty. Bit of everything really. But these guys have lasted me for years. Whereas back in the day, I would used to go through one of these every week. And they're cheap, so it doesn't matter too much. but in the long run, you will save money by upgrading to the sintered diamonds. If I could start all over again and save all the money on these and just buy the sintered diamonds straight from the start, I would have. But you can't really do that unless you're really committed. Anyway, hopefully that cleared it up. I get that comment so much. Now I can edit this video down, maybe do an even shorter version like a YouTube Shorts, and be able to send that to the people when they ask the question, because I would see it on a weekly basis. So hopefully that helps. I gotta get back to carving and I'll chuck these somewhere in storage just in case I need to bring them out again in the future. It actually takes quite a bit of effort to grind a sintered diamond burr in half, which also highlights the difference. This, I ground that down on a linisher in seconds. This destroyed the pad of a linisher, didn't destroy, but damaged a bench grinder. And then in the end, I just had to go for a metal file and I just filed it down. The file wasn't looking too healthy, but managed to get pretty deep into it. So that also highlights the difference. Good luck, have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.